You read the title and you looked at the thumbnail, which means that you want to know what it's like to be a trusted house sitter. But before we get into it, my name is Jem. I'm the travel hippie. I have been to 20 states this year and counting, and I plan on hitting some countries up as well. So follow your girl, embrace the journey with me. It's been an amazing ride, and we do not plan on stopping anytime soon. So if you've ever been curious about what other states and countries look like, we love it over here. Come over here, join the team, come on. So what is it like to be a trusted house sitter? Let me tell you. So I have probably been to, no cap, like 30 houses this year so far, and it's November. And so I can tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the not so great. It is awesome being a house sitter if you love animals. If you do not like animals, do not do it. Just don't do it. Don't kid yourself, and don't play with the animals because they can tell energy and they will make your life a living hell if you do not fuck with them, okay? Not only that, the biggest thing that I realized is, you ever seen somebody's child and you're like, they need to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like that with animals too. Like, people raise their pets just like they raise their children. So pets can have good and bad habits that get on your nerves, and just plain old, yeah, I can't deal with this. Thankfully, I haven't had too many yeah, I can't deal with this moments, but I have had a few. The very first house that I ever took, actually, I had just ordered Chipotle. And girl, I was ready to dive in. I was like, let me just go to the bathroom, wash my hands real quick. By the time I went to the bathroom to wash my hands and came back, the dog, she had literally hopped up on the counter and ate my food. Mind you, it was pushed all the way to the back. She still hopped up and ate my food. I didn't even know because she literally ate the Chipotle bowl as well. The only thing that was there was the aluminum top. I also had another animal more recently. She was so sweet. It wasn't her fault. She was old, but it was so annoying. She had, I think, kidney or liver problems. It was a kitty, a cat. She was like 17. She had to be fed every 2 to 3 hours. And she would literally come out and meow. It was like a yell, scream, meow. It was crazy. She would demand to be fed. You know, she's a cat. Cats make demands. And you wouldn't think that that's a problem, right? But that means that she would wake me up throughout the night. And this was not something that y'all can ignore. I'm a heavy sleeper. And this cat, I would put her in a different room with the door closed and you could still hear her screaming. Side note, that was literally what the owners told me to do so I could get sleep. But I would still be awoken. I had to sleep with headphones on just so I could sleep throughout the night because she would just scream. So those were the more excessive moments, but for the most part, being a trusted house sitter is amazing. I love animals, so it's amazing to be around animals all the time. Very good energy. You don't feel alone when you're in other people's homes, and they protect you, obviously. As far as the owners themselves, typically the owners are very, very cool people. They're real people, they're down to earth, they're fellow travelers just like you. Occasionally you have some people that feel like they're doing you a favor and they'll kind of treat you like you're the help. That's annoying. And then sometimes you have people who are so grateful that they bend over backwards for you. They give you money. I've had people buy me dinner and give me money, put gas in the car, like just go above and beyond. And I really appreciate that because at the end of the day, you are taking care of people's most beloved treasures, their home, sometimes their car, and their pets. So they want to make sure that you feel the love so that you can do the best job possible to take care of their belongings, and I respect that. And then you have being in people's homes themselves. That can get a little interesting just because, again, people's homes are literally a reflection of themselves. So you have to get used to like how other people's decor is, how home is set up, you know, things of that nature, where the utensils are, where the food is kept, things like that. The main thing that I've experienced as far as like a concern is cleanliness. Not everybody is as clean as you, obviously. And so that can sometimes make staying in other people's homes very uncomfortable, especially when it comes to cooking. You can sometimes be uncomfortable using their stuff, and that can result in a lot of takeout, which can be very pricey, as you can imagine. Another thing for me, because I am a woman traveling solo, it does get a little it's really more of a me thing, but I don't like the neighbors knowing that I'm there by myself. Just because the owners know the neighbors and trust them doesn't mean that I do and need to, because I don't know them. So that's another thing. I kind of try to be I really like to be low-key. I don't really like to talk to too many people in the neighborhood. I just kind of come, go. If I have a dog, I'll walk them, kind of keep to myself. I will say every single neighborhood that I have been to is beautiful. The houses are beautiful, cars are beautiful, and the neighborhood feels very, very safe. When I first started this journey, I used to be very scared to be in the homes by myself. That was something that I had to work through shadow work wise. But I've never felt unsafe. They usually have security cameras as well. And you have to think of the type of people who are traveling long term. Like, I've been in a house for a month and a half. So, you know, what type of people can afford to travel that long, right? You can imagine what type of home that they're living in, aka what type of neighborhood that they're in. So I've always felt safe. I've never not felt safe. And I will say that the few times the neighbors have come over to introduce themselves, which is very sweet, and they've always done it while the owner was there, so I didn't feel like apprehensive. They have always been very kind, offered me dinner just to come over, get to know them if I was ever lonely or needed anything. They gave me their number, so it was also very sweet. I do want to stress that being a trusted house sitter, you do not get paid. Think of it as an even exchange. Literally, some person comes to take care of your pet and home, and in exchange, they get to stay in your home for free and use your car if that's what you're offering. I've also had pretty much every time I've house sitted, the owners will say, hey, feel free to eat the food, feel free to use whatever I have around the house. I've been in some homes where they've had very beautiful hot tubs and I was able to use that. So it really is like being in a nice Airbnb, honestly. An Airbnb with dogs, you can't beat that. The biggest lesson that I learned for myself, more like logistically, when I first started, I was literally just taking every opportunity. I started in Denver, and then I went to Omaha, and then I went to Wisconsin, and then I went to somewhere on the East Coast. Then I came back, and I was just all over the country. And I realized in order for it to make sense and really be affordable and cheap like you want travel to be, you have to be planning accordingly and planning strategically. So if I'm gonna be in Denver, Colorado for a month, ideally I would like my next house sit to be in one of those surrounding cities. So Omaha, Nebraska, or somewhere in Nebraska, right? New Mexico, and the other ones I'm blanking on, but you get the gist. I'm gonna get it so that it makes sense geographically. Do not be like me in the beginning and go from the East Coast to the West Coast and then back. It doesn't make any sense, and you'll end up spending more money trying to travel. And especially for me, I just travel with a very big suitcase, which can be very pricey to fly that suitcase around, okay? So that's a pro tip for you guys. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. I think that that's everything that I want to say on Trusted House Sitters. If you have any other questions, definitely feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If you work for Trusted House Sitters, sponsor your girl, okay? Hit me up. Emails in the description box below, for sure. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. It's great being here with you. I appreciate the opportunity to be a YouTuber and content creator. It means so much to me, and I actually have fun doing it, which is, can't beat it, right? If you have any questions, like I said, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything I did not cover, I can definitely make a part 2. Just let me know. Otherwise, be blessed, y'all.